about market conditions, but let's go on to birthdays. Maybe some of you online, we lost you at this point. Does anybody online have a birthday this month? Happy birthday if you do. We've got actually not a small group there. We've got quite a few. I guess it must have been the July anniversaries that was so light. So Holly was here yesterday. I don't see her here right now, but 14 years with Realty One Group. So I think that's about when we bought John Hall, but this is not the month we bought John Hall. So you'll see that month. We have two slides on that month. Okay. Yeah. What? Nope. So $1 Million Club. So as I was saying earlier, we had 82 million in this office in totality. We had 20 agents that hit $1 million last month. Again, market is all over the place, right? So the $1 million and multi-million dollar are still very, very active. Why? Any guesses? Why? Cash. They're not looking at loans. I would say 90% of the $1 million property sales that we're dealing out of this office are all cash transactions, right? And we're talking million, multi-million, et cetera. So quite a few there. Good luck. Congratulations to all of you. I see some of you here that hit that. So congrats. That was not ours, but yes, it was. It was a 40 million for cash. That's right. And that's pretty typical. Almost all of the stuff at the high end is done in cash. So we have some of our new agents. Allery, I see here. Are any of the other new agents here? No? We've got a couple more guys that were just coming in. And so congratulations and welcome aboard. We're looking forward to working with you and getting you all set up and ready to rock and roll. For those that want to spare $600, I don't know if you want $600, refer 3 agents, you get your full year for free. You don't pay your $50 a month for an entire year. They just take it off. So kind of a nice little bonus there, and they stack. So if you've got somebody to refer today, that's great. Somebody else in 6 months, that's fine. They stack there until you get to the 3. So take your time, find the good ones, send them over. You know, a lot of folks are a little edgy right now with all the mergers. So if you know folks in other companies, they're trying to figure out what's exactly going to happen. And it's been interesting talking to different people that they're like, well, I'm going to stay here. Everything's going to stay the same. Yeah, said no one in mergers. No one in mergers says everything's staying this. Well, they tell you that, and then it changes. So just be prepared for the change. So let them know you've got a good thing here.
I was telling my husband last night that Jason Mitchell started his own brokerage less than 10 years ago and sold it for $1 billion yesterday.
For those that did not know, KW bought Jason Mitchell Group.
Yeah.
So, yep.
I know he worked very hard.
Oh, he did.
It's been probably not what I would ever do, but I make $1 billion in 10 years.
In 10 years, that's pretty good business. That's right. All right. So who's been watching? Who has looked at the stats that came in last week? I know it was a holiday weekend, but who opened up the stats? You all know it was in your newsletter on Sunday, right? You got it? I'm sorry I missed it the first week. It came in literally like we had already scheduled our newsletter and I saw it like at 6 p.m. that night. Went, we could have thrown that in there. So sorry about that. All right. So let's go over the market updates. Now we've got both slides here, just for those of you that like the old style and new style, they're both here. But on the right-hand side were the May reports. On the left-hand, I don't know which way you're looking at. On the left side of the screen is the May report. On the right side of the screen is the June report, right? So in the middle, you'll see the sales price was actually up. So interesting about that, the sales price was up $8,000. Everything else is down except days on market, which went up 2 days. Not a big deal for this time of year, okay? So the number sold was down 292, but when we get to the general graph, you're going to see that's pretty much in line with time of year, right? Because it's seasonal, right? We're in June as we're starting to head down. May and June are probably usually the highest months, and then we start to see a decrease, okay? So not a huge set of number changes. The under contract was kind of the surprise for me because it's down 795, which seems like a little bit of a large number to be down in terms of under contract. Those are pending UCB, right? The active is down 700, which is interesting, right? Because usually this is the time of year people are throwing their homes on the market. And obviously we aren't selling that many, so not many more are being added. Here's the same chart if you like the old version, same numbers in the middle, same numbers on the chart, but we have both of those. And again, if you open that over the weekend, you would have seen these, all these are on that market report index that you get. So the numbers in blue were the May numbers, just so you get an idea of what they are. Again, those numbers at the top are the ones we just saw, down 700 and active and coming soon. Sold listings down 292, which is no big deal. That's a pretty balanced shift from month to month. So let's look at the Maricopa County actives. Overall active 17,566. When we switch to Maricopa, that's your big difference, right? Between all of ARMLS at 25,000. I mean, you're talking 8,000 unit difference that's outside of Maricopa County. That's why I tell you, zoom in, look at what is around you. Don't look at these general numbers because it's totally different. Why would you be telling people we have 25,000 homes on the market? We don't, not here, right? And everybody say, oh my gosh, 25. Okay, yes, we'll look at that big thing, but remember Maricopa County ARMLS added the Verde Valley. So we added Sedona, we added all those things up in that area. And guess what else this includes? Manufactured homes. They weren't on this chart 5 years ago, right? Do you remember, Leaf, when that got added? I'm talking about the ones that are actually the trailers 4 years ago. So when we're comparing year over year, when I look at some of this stuff, if you open up and just do ARMLS actives, look at what the first things that come up are.
Yeah, I know.
And it's like $50. It's like, $5,000, $10,000. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's kind of crazy. And so when you're looking at these generic large number, everything in the kitchen sink is thrown in there. So it's not really totally comparable. I wish we would, kind of have an asterisk that these units weren't included at that time, right? So understand when we get to the big charts, you'll see that. But let's look at Maricopa County, right? So if you look at the single family, back to what we focus on, and I know you can go look at the condos, townhomes, right? That's fine. If that's what you're working in, do a Zoom to look at exactly that, right? Look at those numbers and share those with your client. This is what's happening in your market. So single family active in Maricopa, 13,437. It's down 533 from last month. UCB, CCBS and pending 5562. Actually, that was last month. I went ahead and did the black as last month, but it's down 690 from those numbers. Coming soon. I don't really care about coming soon. Sold 4872, down only 145. So where's the activity? Right here in Maricopa County, right? It's not, that's not a huge shift there. Then we look at the 10-mile radius. These numbers are typically in those low 3 digits or 2 digits. Active listings are down 380, but single family homes are only down 168, right? That 380 includes the 168 and everything else. Your mobile homes, your manufactured homes, your condos, etc. So the single family is only down 168. That's not a huge number, okay, in active listings. UCB, CCBS and pending, single family only down 207. Solds, we're only down 22 from last month. How flat is that, right? 22 units. That's pretty dang good that we're just right there in single family homes still selling those numbers. Okay, so here's the chart, right, that Leah sends. Again, if you look month over month and look at comparisons, we're at 24,000 active listings right there, right? You go above last year in June, we were at 25,000, right? In July last year, we were under where we are right now. So, not far off from those totals. And I just have to wonder how many of those are manufactured homes? How many of those are mobile homes, right? Because at least, well, the manufactured homes were here before, but 4 years ago, right? You go up 4 years to, 2022, 23, we were at 15,000. And I'm not saying that we have 8,000 mobile homes, but I would bet we probably have several hundred, heading onwards up to 700 mobile homes. It would not surprise me because they are being sold a lot right now, and our agents are coming into doing that business. By the way, how many of you have actually sold a mobile home on leased land? 2 of you, okay? If you have not done that, please call somebody else. Don't.
Yeah.
Do you all know that uses a different contract? No? Yeah, you can't use your AAR form. There is an AAR form for it, but it's not in your files. You have to actually go to AAR online to get the right contract. So please understand that. If you don't know, Heather McPherson in our office does them day in and day out, has it down, and she belongs to the state MLS where you can advertise some of those. The park models can't be advertised in ARMLS. If you don't know what a park model is, don't worry, then you really shouldn't be doing it, but that'll give you an idea that you have no idea. So outside of your area of expertise. Okay, closed sales. Look at this, 72.59. Last month we had 75.51. That's down from March and April. Kind of interesting that we hit the height of the market really in April instead of in May. That is unusual, right? Actually, June is usually where we see some of that. But if you look back, that would be my guess, right? But if you look at these numbers, that's not true, right? Because look at these numbers here for April, all in the sevens, right? And yes, we have 75, 60 back there in 2024. But, traditionally, I would go back. If you look up over there in the middle, June is where you see June and July, and we've kind of shifted earlier. So we've got a little bit of shift here. We'll see what the upcoming sales are. Still pretty solid with 6,200 in UCB, CCBS, and pending. So that is a good number. We want to keep that in the sixes. Definitely would like to see more closings come next month. So here's a statistical market summary, right? Last month, active listings last month were down 2.7 from last month. From last year, we're only 3.5% down on the market. Not really that bad considering everybody's like, we've got so many listings, right? Well, actually, no, we don't. Sold listings year over year, we are up almost 10%. That's a good number, folks. That means you guys all had the opportunity to have some business, right? Pending listings were up, sold listings were up, average sales price was also up 5%. So good numbers. You guys can always go see these. You get sent these from Leah every year. Whoops, we're recording earlier. How about that? Okay. So I've been copying these over and trying to see what slight changes Leah made. There is a slight change in the sellers section. Again, it says with the exception of the luxury market, we know that home values have started to decline. Not really. Some of them have gone up. We saw that. But the numbers of listings entering the market and interest rate volatility is still keeping the demand lower than usual. And again, here's the key. You must price correctly up front because the home is no longer worth what things sold for 3 months ago. So if your clients are telling you, yeah, but the home sold in February or April for blah, 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 it's July, folks. That's not even getting a time of day reading. So be careful with that. And I think that's why we're seeing that up and down with what's happening in the market, right? So here's just another snapshot at that. Now, this is where I do the zoom in on this report for not only Maricopa, but our 10-mile radius. That's where you saw my earlier numbers. And this is going to show you that the median sales price from last month to this month decreased $2,500, right? It's not a big change, folks. The median sales price only decreased by $2,500. The median list price decreased by $15,000. Now, again, folks, because of the luxury market we have, I mean, in Maricopa in general, I mean, that's a luxury, that's, you know, a half a dozen luxury deals dropping by $200,000. And that's going to affect the rest of the market. But you have to remember that this is a median list price of all the properties in Maricopa County, right? Interesting that they said the housing supply decreased by 2.75 months. So almost 3 months. I'm sorry, I think that's days. No, I'm sorry. It decreased to 2.75. It was half a month. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. I was like, wait a minute, that's wrong. So a half a month, so 15 days off the market, things were selling that much faster. My guess is that is probably your luxury market, believe it or not, because usually the luxury market's sitting on the market for 2 years and things are selling very quickly in terms of luxury in that market. Okay. Now let's look at, so these are the numbers just so you can see what the actual numbers were from that chart, right? So ARMLS is the general Maricopa and then the single family in Maricopa. You can see where I got those numbers. 13,000 active in May. June was 12,904, a difference of the 533. So coming soon, but sold on the bottom, right? 4,800 last month, 4,727, a difference of only 145. That's not a huge difference, okay? Interesting. So I always try to give you the sneak peek, right? Because we're 13 days in. Today's the 14th, right? So last month, there were 11 days in May. In the first 11 days, we closed 1,046 deals, single family. In the first 13 days, we've closed 1,366. So, and when do most closings happen? End of the month, right? So we've already had a solid number for the start of the month. That's a good sign. We would be worried if this number were like 300 or 400, right? We don't want to see that decline at the beginning of the month. We want to see that steady, consistent closings. So at the end of the month, those numbers get boosted up. Obviously, you know, the UCB and pending, we have 4,800 that were pending at the beginning of the month. We'd like to see that add to this, but I don't think it'll be that strong, right? Because some of these were already pending in that number. But it's still a solid number down there to have that in the first 13 days. Okay, so 10-mile radius of the office. This is tighter, but again, includes Paradise Valley to manufactured and mobile homes. We've got both of the in the 10-mile radius. So the median sales price, $739. See how much higher that is right here in this 10-mile radius because of Paradise Valley. So that number increased by $3,500, but the median list price decreased by $40,000. Again, my guess is this is due to our luxury market. When they drop, they don't drop by $10,000 or $20,000. They drop by $100,000, $200,000, $300,000. So you can get easily a $40,000 shift by averaging, you know, doing a median list price. So the month supply went to 2.5 months, which was about a half month down from last month. So again, 15 days. So if I'm right that that was luxury, that follows suit that would hit our 10-mile radius as well as the entire Maricopa County area because it's probably centered right here, okay? So these are the numbers for the 10-mile radius. Again, you can see solds there, 1,300 last month, 1,287, a drop of only 56 units. Not bad, not out of that percentage, right? And here, yes, these are in the hundreds, but look, the beginning of that month, 11 days, we had 221. Here, 13 days, we had another 50 units in 2 extra days. That's a good start for the month. Let's hope we pick up, you know, another 1,000 at least. We sold 1,287. We pick up 1,000. We're matching exactly where we are this month, right? For June. Does that make sense? And we had a holiday this month. So kind of days are a little shifty. So the beginning of the month, you know, for July may not be quite the same. Okay. So how many of you read the little news bulletin? You guys got to check this out. We welcomed our 26th country, Mongolia. So we are now open in Mongolia. There's more info on that. Go look at the news alert from Realty One Group. It's got a link there to some more information about Mongolia. But those of you looking to travel internationally, gosh, start with where do we have offices? Call and talk to somebody in those offices. Schedule your trip. It's a business trip. Go visit another office. Tell them that you are their contact for referrals here in beautiful Scottsdale, Paradise Valley, Phoenix, whichever terminology you want to use, right? Because they probably do have people that are traveling here, believe it or not, right? So want to thank all of you. These numbers jump dramatically. This is our One Cares slide for those of you that take the time and add all of the things you are doing to give back to the community. Last month, we did a food drive. We're figuring, I think we took several 100 pounds of food. St. Mary's was most appreciative. They were really struggling in the summertime, making sure they had some bare basics, and we really appreciate your help on that. Okay, we have a bunch of stuff coming up, and it's in your newsletter. It's in today's morning newsletter. We've got some stuff this week, next week, and then we even gave you some August, hey, put this in your, save the date. We're starting bringing back the gal from homes.com who was here last month. She met with a couple of you. And so she is going to go over, Betsy will be here. She's going to go over the portal and how you work with that. She's providing lunch from the Chop Shop. Please RSVP on the link you have today so she knows the numbers. But she's going to be, I believe, upstairs. We'll double check that. I think she's upstairs. And using the room up there so you guys can meet and go over that. She's going to talk about that portal. I believe, Lloyd, you're doing the homes.com. Anybody else? Sean's doing the homes.com. So for those of you that are looking at it, this is it's a free opportunity. She's selling stuff. We all know that. But it's up to you and what your business platform is doing. So they just talk about the visibility from the homes.com. So how many of you have taken advantage of the Rock University events? They do them online. Look, our rock folks are. Thank you. So we had missed the notification for the early July. It was really tough with the holiday week. But tomorrow, Jane is coming back. This is the second part of talking about your energy and you're keeping your body in a line and how to focus and stuff like that. So very interesting if you're struggling. I know a lot of people, especially this time of year with the heater, like, I can't do anymore. I'm done. Good to get your body back in focus and look at how you can restore that and keep your motivation up. So, thanks to Leah. Leah thought so kindly of all the other managers that she gave all the other managers a break. I don't know that she intended this, but at any rate, our Rev Up series that the managers here in Arizona provide to you has been canceled for let's see, July and August. We'll pick back up in September. Don't worry. Leah's got you covered because she's recording the entire series herself and will have it available in her summer school sessions. So she started with My Branding and Farming and then the One Business Planning. So both of those are already on her YouTube channel. They're linked in our newsletter. So we're still going to give you the links. You can go watch her fun recordings. If you haven't heard Leah give a presentation, let's just say her series 2 years ago was called WTF. Oh, for those that don't know, that's what's that form for those that are new. But I'm sure you thought she meant something else. And trust me, in her mouth, she would have said that absolutely. I don't feel I can pull that off, but she does it quite happily. And so if you do not like foul language, do not look at her videos. That's just a given. It's okay. We love Leah. For those that have never met Leah, I can actually proudly say I'm taller than Leah is, but her persona is much bigger than I am. So, but she's recorded all of those. Separately, Realty One Group, because they do this for agents all around the world. They have their Rev Up New Agent Success Program. Yes, it costs $111. It is 10 classes. there's another link that'll show the 10 classes, but our 8 classes are basically the 10. We just squished them into 8 because there are only 8 brokers. So that was easier for us to do. It is a 5-week class, 10 modules. These are the next upcoming dates you can sign up for. If you do all 10 classes in the sequence, you cannot skip any of them, by the way, you get your $111 back. Amazing program. I talked to one of our agents that just went through it. He said it was a very, very solid program, very informative from beginning to end, gives you the basics from your branding to farming to how to do a listing presentation, open house suggestions. All those things are included in there, including you'll see things like sales cycle mastery and client communication. It's got a lot of content in there. So if you're feeling like you need a reboot and want to commit yourself to that, you can do that. You can go watch Leah's program. She's going to cover some of the same stuff, just in a slightly shorter time frame, because she's doing, I think, hour-long versus these are 2-hour-long classes for 10 classes. So again, you're welcome to do that. People do it all across the country. It's a really great reset if you haven't done it. So next Tuesday, I was having a great conversation yesterday looking at some of our tools and tricks. I was actually talking to Lee about this. So next Tuesday, I'm going to talk from 10 to 11 about marketing 102, not doing 101. If you don't have your profile picture on your page, please go put your profile picture on your One Zone page. That is the foundation, and that photo goes everywhere. If you want to get referrals, please have your photo on there. Because with the new Zone Pro, how many of you have been logged into Zone Pro? How many of you have logged into your new Zone Pro, right? So the new Zone Pro has a whole referral section. And if you don't think people are looking at that, what are they looking at? Your photo. What's the content that you have in there? Who are you? What's your profile, right? Fill that out. So I'm going to take it the next step and talk about signage. A lot of people are asking about signs, where you get them. We got lots of options for that. I'll show you different ways you can deal with that. How to deal with your email and stuff. So we're just going to have a good conversation about some of the things that you can utilize on the system that we already have in place. Next week, July 22nd, how many of you know monsoon is going away? So for those that don't, this is an opportunity to learn from ARMLS. They are coming in to teach this. It's not here. This is over at the Perimeter Training Center. It's not in the same building. So please put the address down, because it is not at our office building. Yes, it's Perimeter, but it's like a half a mile away from the building. So they're both on Perimeter, but just different buildings. So we will be there for that. Please RSVP below on your link that you were sent today. This was in the newsletter today. How many of you were here when Monsoon took over IMAP? How many of us cried over that loss?
That was over 10 years ago.
It was a lot over 10. I think it was more like 15 years ago, but yes. So this has happened before. It will happen again, right? Huh? You like CurveView? Okay.
Different.
All right. Well, if you do certain searches, I don't know. I want to make sure I can do my 1004, because I don't know that I can do that. We'll see.
You do your 1004 MC and then Monsoon?
Well, no, in Flex. Sorry, not in Monsoon. You're right. It's in Flex. You're right. But so just for those that haven't checked out CurveView is more picture based than data focused. The data is there. It's just picture focused. So thank you for being here today. At the same time, Brian is over at the Scottsdale office. On the 2nd and 4th Tuesdays of each month, he deals with ROG tech tool training. I try my best. I'm just not as tech savvy as Brian is. So you're welcome to be here. That's why I'm doing the tech stuff next week. But on the next Tuesday, if you want to go over to Brian's office, take your laptop, go join them. He goes over an entire, whatever he's working on in terms of technology, he shares it. You're on your computer, you're logged in and doing the work at the same time. Please don't show up without a computer because you're never going to be able to take the notes to keep on top of it, okay? But please feel free to take advantage of that. My office meetings are recorded, so if you want to go there on a Tuesday, please feel free. I'm going to try and get what he's teaching, so it'll be in your Sunday newsletter before that, just so you know. All right. I snuck this in here early just because I'm doing dates. So Lee, do you want to tell us what this is? Oh, Kimberly.
Hi. Good morning, everybody. I'm Kimberly. I'm with Rock Title, part of Team Concierge with Lee Piper. Yeah. So we are starting a new monthly concierge cafe, coffee and connections, as a way for agents to network with one another, as well as for us to kind of get our finger on the pulse of some of the things you guys might be up against, see if we can assist in any way. I know sometimes coming to the office, maybe getting outside kind of revitalizes and gets a new perspective. So please join us, just show up. 9 to 11, we're starting on the July 29th at Incio, I think that's how you pronounce it, at Kierland's. It's in the cafe and it's doubles all day bistro inside. So we will send out in our newsletter a flyer, so I'll have all the details, but we just wanted to let you guys know ahead of the game. We're going to be doing it and we hope that you guys come and join us.
All right. And so for those that don't know, Kimberly and Lee work with both our Scottsdale and North Scottsdale offices. So all three offices will be invited. So again, when she talks about an opportunity to mix and mingle, this is an opportunity to meet agents from those other two offices as well. Okay. So please join for that. A couple of you I know joined us for the role playing last month. We did this again over at this other perimeter office. I hope that if any of you have any hesitancies about talking to your clients, feeling uncomfortable with dialogue, please join us. Patty, you went. I mean, I think it was an incredible situation. Yeah, Gail, you were there. A lot of people were very, very shy at the beginning. And as we worked through some of the questions and answers that were passed around, people really became much more comfortable with having their responses and being able to talk to somebody else, a stranger, but they were able to have that conversation and not feel so hesitant and shy about it. And I was impressed with truly in a 2-hour period, how well people kind of came out of their shell. And sometimes we just need that opportunity to realize and hear that voice come out of us to give us the encouragement that, yeah, we can do this, right? So please, if you have any hesitancies or just want an opportunity to chat, we welcome experienced agents as well. So please come on over. We had about 25. Do you remember? It was about 25 people there. It was a pretty good room. So I'm giving that to you now so you get it on your calendars for August. I know it's a little ways out there. All right, I'm going to bring this up again only because one of our agents was hacked. And I am getting so many emails, and some of you are using different e-signing programs than AuthentiSign, DigiSign, or DocuSign. If you send me something to sign that is not one of those three, you better be calling me or texting me to tell me there is something I need to click on. Because if you send me a link, I'm not opening it. I am telling you flat out, I am not opening it. There is too much of this going on. If you're not watching these, there are text messages telling you you're going to get this document, please open. Folks, if you don't know somebody's sending you a document, do not open a link to a document. Flat out. If you're getting stuff from title companies saying your title closing documents are attached, first of all, broker agents, you don't get the closing documents. you get a notice from title of a settlement statement, which is emailed to you. It is not someplace you have to go unless you're logging into the title company's secure server, right? Do not open up anything that looks like this. Download this document. One of our agents got his entire computer, his finance accounts, everything got hit. So please save yourself the time, okay? It is a headache you do not want to have. So I will tell you, I will not open it. So again, I've seen a couple of people using these other signing programs. I'm like, what is that? Not opening it.
Sometimes the only one I'm really have been scared about as far as like our duties, you know, our fiduciary duties, is I get like, I've gotten on my last two sales text that says, hey, we'd like an offer on, they put the address and everything, they put a link in there. So I feel like, and then I just text them right back and say, the link won't work, please email me, and I put my email in there, and they never do, but I don't want to miss an offer either.
Does anybody else know what the other scam is that's going around? Hey, I'd like to meet with you. I'm going to send you a link to my Google Meets or Zoom. If you do not know that person, just say, that's not a problem. I'll send you my link. You can join mine.
Yeah, okay, it doesn't work, bad.
Right.
And call me.
Yeah. Yeah.
They won't call.
No, they won't. They won't.
Then you know it's
Have you had a voice message? Yeah. Text you,
Yes.
and do you ever open those up?
Only if, I mean, I get them from Marco all the time because he always sends them, but I know it's Marco.
But it's not a link to, it's just a voice recording.
It's a voice recording. I don't know that a voice recording's an issue. But if I don't know the person, I just don't bother.
I don't open them up, but I was just kind of curious.
I also get WhatsApp with voice recordings, and I hate using WhatsApp. If you guys are traveling internationally, let me know before you go, and I will make sure you are on my WhatsApp, and I will follow you if you're traveling. That's not a problem. But if somebody sends me a WhatsApp and I do not know them, I do not respond. Just flat out do not.
I want voice messages from Marco.
I'll tell him to send you some. Oh, yeah, no, not mine. All right, let's introduce some of our partners here. We've got a lot of great folks here. We'll start with the VIP. If you guys don't know, Realty One Group has a great deal with Camelback Moving. We've got information up there. If you've got clients that you know need a day or two in a truck between places, they include 2 nights of sit for free to our clients under our VIP arrangement. That can be a lifesaver and a lot of money saver if you don't have to get that truck unloaded and then reloaded and unloaded again. That is a lot of money you're saving. So if that's something you need, make sure you recommend the VIP. All right, we have a special guest today. Jonathan Herman with American Home Shield is here. He's the regional sales director. So we're thrilled to have Jonathan here, and he gets to talk about what's happening in the new video chat. You got to come all this way, so you're on there. So I'll get out of your way.
So when you said you had a special guest, I started looking around.
Yes, we usually get the regional sales manager. So.
Well, I appreciate the invitation to join for a couple of minutes this week. Happen to be in town. I live in Colorado. Working very, very hard on finding a new permanent representative for your office. I know that Lee is doubtless doing. No. It's all in the family, and I know she's doing an incredible job for Rock Tile, because I know that firsthand from experience. So a little bit more patience is what I'm going to ask for this morning. I should have something and someone ready to go here, hopefully within the next 3 to 4 weeks. I wanted to provide a very brief update on something. Some of you who were at the Herberger Theater for the Realty One Talks tour a few months ago might have seen me on stage with a couple of our video chat experts we brought into town. And so I want to give you a little update on that topic. We are currently running 10,000 video chats a month. 10,000 a month, right? That's individual video chats, free of charge, no trade service fee, anything like that, to talk to an actual plumber, an electrician, an HVAC technician. These are not our contractors. These folks do not work in our service department. They're actually former HVAC technicians, appliance repair people, and so forth, who have left that career and joined us as on-demand consultants, right? The reason that I wanted to share that 10,000 number with you is that's 10,000 client touches. And that's 10,000 reminders a month that somebody recommended that I have a warranty, not somebody is you, right? And so we're really excited about where that program is going. Continue to have some more updates as the months go by. So again, I'll give you just a little bit more time, and we'll have you all set up and running here. In the meanwhile, every phone call, every text, every email, regardless of how you try to get hold of American Home Shield, regardless of what contact information you're using, it's all being monitored and responded to. Thank you so much.
Wait,
Really,
I'm not letting you go that
Yeah, yeah.
quickly. Wait. I think agents, you need to know one of the other tools with this call-in service.
Yeah.
So if you have an American Home Shield account
yes,
for your house and you have that app on your phone
that is correct.
and you are walking through a home with a client and your client says, well, what will we do to fix this? So I'm gonna leave
No.
that, you finish out.
Oh, that is exactly right. As long as you have permission from your client to turn video on inside their home, we will answer any question that might come up, right? So if someone says, well, gosh, what do you think I need to have done about this leak in the trap underneath my kitchen sink? We can give some advice on that, right? And a quick note on that as well. The video chat experts are not limited to home warranty items. You can ask any question from the rafters to the foundation, whether it's warranty related or not. How can I get this door to not stick, right? That sort of thing, right? Are there things that we can do with, well, gosh, how can I replace the fixtures in my home? Because I want to put an update, a little refreshed look before it goes in the market, right? We can walk folks through that. We can tell them exactly the size of the fixture they need, where they can buy it at, and all of that sort of thing. Is this a 3-hole fixture? Is it a 4-hole fixture? All of that sort of thing. We can walk them through how to disconnect, how to reconnect new fixtures, all of that sort of thing. And it's provided someone has a qualifying plan and provided they have the app on the phone, it's always free every single time.
So I don't know how many of you have American Home Shield for your own properties or maybe a rental property of yours. Doesn't matter. You're able to access that app and be able to use it as an agent, say at a listing appointment when somebody's saying, well, what do you think I need to do about? So I don't know, let's see what an expert says. That's a free tool you can provide to your client.
I have a question. How fast can you get the expert on the video checker in someone calls?
The last one I did was about 2.5 weeks ago, and it took me about 1.5 minutes to connect with somebody. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and our average wait time is less than 2 minutes.
Okay, so thank you. I just
Oh,
wanted to
thank
make
you.
sure
No,
we added
fine.
that.
All right.
And thanks for the yogurt and
Oh.
juice, so that we got a little extra protein back there from
Our
Jonathan.
pleasure. All right, thank you again. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, welcome here, zone.
Yeah, stay
Goodbye.
cool here. We'd rather be in Colorado. All right, we've got a bunch of folks here. Come on down. We've got some new introductions to make. Come on down. That's right. And look, you've got the dress. I am just,
She's got
you
the
got the dress.
He's 100% into
He's in the
rock.
Rock Tide Go.
He's got it.
Good morning again. This morning, we are super excited to introduce you guys to a new and amazing team with Rock Title. They are right upstairs. They are here to assist you. They come with a vast experienced background, so we feel very lucky to have them. This is Lisa Rosito. She's escrow officer. She's going to tell a little bit about herself in a moment.
My partner in
Yep.
crime.
As her partner in crime, Jan Fryer. She's also an escrow officer, but she'll be working with Lisa. And I'm going to let you guys take it away and talk a few minutes about
You
right
gotta
in front of the camera.
this way so Right you
here.
can
Jan,
hear
see
me.
you.
Okay.
Lisa, if you'd like.
Yeah.
Talkie. Oh, okay, I got
I
you.
did the work.
Hey, that was-
Oh.
Teasing.
Anyway, we originally came from Prescott years ago and have been working together for about 20 years. I've been in the industry of 43 years this year. And I mean, it's just our lives, you know, we love escrow. But I've met a lot of you at some of the other functions, and we're excited to have an opportunity to work with you. We're right upstairs. So give us a call or drop in and just drop by and say hi.
She has the rock dress on, so we know she's sticking around.
Yeah.
Got that lime green. gotta love
Yeah, gotta love it.
Yep.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
And
you
just
for-
remember, with them being upstairs, you guys, we do understand that we want you to capture every deal and give it to Rock. But if there's ever a situation where you just are curious or need question answered, Lisa and
Yeah,
Jen
just
are
call.
there for you as well.
Yeah.
We are here
I have
regardless, so.
some of my clients even call me when they have a deal that goes to another title company and they're like, is this supposed to be happening? Or, you know, they have technical questions, just give me a call.
They're part of your team too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
amazing.
And I love
You can get it down.
Okay, so just really quickly, I got to sit into the Buffini session a couple weeks ago when Melissa was speaking, and it was so nice to kind of Melissa Gasper right
Oh,
here,
yeah, right there.
right here,
Anita.
which you guys all know Melissa and love her, so no introduction needed. But one of the things that she shared with the group is you see a need, you fill a need, right? Is that
Find a need, fill a need.
find a need, fill a need. And one of the things that I've noticed since Jan and Lisa have been with the team, especially Jan, I'm sorry, but I'm going to call you out right now, is that that's the presence that she's brought to our office. So as I'm like rummaging around looking for something in a drawer, within 2 days, she's like, oh, it's right here. Let me get it for you. So I say all that, like, this is kind of like how they are wired, who they are as people, and the type of experience that I'm sure that they bring to their clients and why they are so successful. So it truly is such a joy that we get to stand here and introduce these ladies for you guys today. So I hope we'll get a chance to sit down and talk a little bit more about them and their services, and that's all. So I'm really holding my tongue back about talking about American Home Shield video chat because I did use it. Okay, I know I'm not supposed to sell it, but I am here to be a resource for your guys' business, and it is amazing. I was actually on a girls' trip with my teenage daughters and her friends and the moms, and the dishwasher went out on our Airbnb on a Friday night at 10 o'clock. And I'm not kidding you. I did 3 video calls with the video chat people, and it was back online before the girls even woke up. So it was incredible. And that was after my American Home Shield days. So please know that and keep that in mind as you're looking for warranty solutions for your clients. Okay. Now another app that's more rock centric. So, you know, as an agent, I know that you guys are getting a lot of questions. That's just part of your job. And one of the questions that you're getting a lot is, from your buyers, from your sellers, what am I going to walk away with in this deal? And of course, they want to know what they're going to net. That's a part of the calculations they're doing as they're going through the transaction. We have one of the premium tools, apps for you guys. It's called Rock Agent. It has over 30 calculators for you to use while you're out with your clients to get some quick numbers on the fly, and just ultimately answer that question. What am I going to net? And make the transactions that much easier for you. So you also know we're a full service concierge team. That's also what Lisa and Jen are for, to get you some exact numbers. But while you wait for them, even though they're super fast, this is a great estimate tool for you to use. So I have the QR code here. We have the flyers. So I would ask that you take a moment to download it and play around with it and see what you think.
It's
That's
great
what we
to
got
go
for you.
on by, but please remember, estimate.
Yep.
There's an estimate. We've heard of other things happening with other agents and whatnot, so just make sure that you clarify that with your clients.
You mean that IRS tax lien nobody told you about doesn't count in the estimate?
So yeah, just if you're gonna use it on the weekend or whatnot, at night or whatever, if you do submit to your clients, always follow up with Lisa or Jan just to make sure that we're on the same page.
Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys so much for your time. We appreciate you.
But before, come on down, guys. But before we get you, Barb, and look, my favorite person is calling me. How many of you get calls from potential spam?
I'm right here, I'm not calling.
Well, wait, she's disappearing and I was going to call her out. So how many did Buffini here? So we had a couple of you do the Buffini. How many of you have done Buffini before? Okay, several others. All right. As was mentioned, Melissa Gasper has done Buffini. I saw her with these note cards the other day, and I just thought that is just an amazing card to use today. And for those online, it says, this is not a text, right? This is not a text. This is a card. So a little more personable for you to reach out to your clients. She had these made with her logo and everything on the back of them. Look, see, a whole bunch of them. Perfect timing. So, but just again, a good opportunity for a way to connect with your client. And what a cute way to do that, to say this is not a text, right? I'm actually taking my time to send you a note. So just a great idea. Lee has other great ideas like that. And again, we've got our July pop buys that you can utilize. Where did pop buys come up from? Buffini. That is absolutely a Buffini tool. There are both the pop buys and the door jammers over there. If you haven't seen them, they're very cute with the popcorn, and she gave you some little ones out there as well. The popcorn baskets. Yes. So come on down. We've got Epic in the house. We've got Barb. Yep. Come on.
Barb and Tony.
Barb and Tony. Sorry. Tony.
Hi, guys.
B&T or TMD, I don't know.
Back up a little bit. There you go.
You guys are tall. There you go.
This is what I needed. Someone to direct me.
So I'd like to start off by saying thank you to those that came out to our happy hour last Wednesday. It was a lot of fun. And that's when we got to meet some of the new rock title people that you just met. And then also on Thursday, thank you for the people that came out to the divorcee class that I held upstairs. It was phenomenal. I'm really glad that some of you were able to make it. And anyway, Tony and I are here to talk about some of the Epic lending proprietary products that we have. And as you can see on this flyer, the all-in-one loan, phenomenal loan that is not rate dependent. You guys really need to know more about this loan when you're talking to your buyers, because Tony and I can hop on a call with you with your buyers and do the simulator to see if it actually works for their lifestyle. But it's less rate dependent. A lot of people will put their information in there and their effective rate will be 2 or 3% versus the typical 6 to 7% right now. So reach out to us. We'd be happy to talk to you about that. Our list and lock program, I'm going to let Tony talk about that a little bit because I know he likes to talk about it.
I do. I'm stuck on list and lock simply because it's just an alternative way for you to market your listings versus, to compete against the builders. The builders have an enormous wallet. For some reason, they're able to buy down interest rates substantially. So the list and lock gives you that opportunity to be able to do that, to market that, to be able to put your listing in front of and hopefully get some more activity and some more traction as you're moving forward.
Obviously, it's not going to be where some of these builders are, but it does let you stand out amongst the rest. So if interest rates are 6.49%, maybe you're advertising 5.625%. That's huge when someone's buying power.
Yeah, the ones that I'm doing right now are advertising is about 5.6 to 5.4, depends on the day. Now we do a floating. That means it changes constantly as the market floats. It floats, somebody QRs it, and they'll see automatically what that day's rate is. Once they go into contract, that's when they can actually get in there and lock in the rate under them. Themselves. It's a great program. Epic is actually the seller contributes whatever up to 3%. We add in another 1% to get it down as low as we possibly can. We tie that to the rate rebound. The rate rebound is a program where we refinance the loan with no lender fees. I don't know. I used to have a 5-year limit. Now I don't think there's a limit at all. It's just every 6 months you can refinance if it makes sense.
I say up to 5 years because ultimately between now and 5 years from now, they could refinance as many times as they want, as long as they've made 6 mortgage payments. And as long as the rates come down more than 0.5 point. So it saves them $2,500 to $3,000 every time. And they're only having to pay title fees, really. So
I tell people that all the time, that today's rate or your payment today is as bad as it's ever going to be. It's as high as it's ever going to be, period. Because people, that's what they talk to us about. Oh my God, it says the payment. That's it. This is it. from this point down, we can get it lower and lower and lower and lower up until whenever. Okay, unless you get cash out and it changes up the whole system.
And we all know that buying real estate is a fantastic investment, right? So they're investing in themselves. And then they're gonna be able to refinance into a lower rate, which will be more advantageous for them if they don't go with the all-in-one loan, right?
Exactly. And then for this market, actually in all markets, we do have three different, I wish I could read it a little bit better, but we have a jumbo suite. Anything over what's the conforming limit, 757, 857?
85,000.
Something like that, yeah. So we have a powerhouse jumbo, which is built for buyers who think big and demand reliability across property. The Smart Choice jumbo, which is automated underwriting driven, where we can actually run DU in it and get an approval, so it's quicker. So we have three different, and then the specialist is for that self-employed individual, where we'll take their taxes and analyze it and help them. So we have very specific products that we can tie these jumbo people into and help them get into a home at something more affordable.
And in addition, the all-in-one loan goes up to $12 million if they're putting 50% down. For all you big people out there that are doing the cash deals out there.
And on top of that, we have all your FHA conventional conforming products and all that.
Yes, absolutely. And to float the rate?
Yeah.
There's no cost of floating the rate. We can lock 10 days before the closing, 21 days, 30 days. Obviously, every closer tier, they save, money as far as the cost of locking. And within, say they locked 30 days out, they have an opportunity for a one-time float down if rates come down significantly. So that's probably what you're asking about, right? The one-time float down. So they're allowed one time.
Yeah, there's a cost to float it, nothing. We just float. Okay. But when it comes to actually locking and then extending the rate lock, that's where the cost can come in. Okay. But hopefully that answers the question.
Well, and I'm seeing a lot of questions out there from realtors on what they should be asking the lenders when maybe you're the listing agent, right? And there's a buyer that is under contract and you want to know how strong they are. One of the things that you can ask the lender for the buyer is if they've run AUS, which is automatic underwriting system for either Fannie or Freddie, which is DU and LP. Because I think that's a question that not a lot of people ask on whether or not that's been run and if it's an approve eligible. So you really want to make sure that that's been run because that's a pre-approval. So it hasn't gone in front of an underwriter per se, but it's gone through the underwriting system, which usually will spit out an issue if there is one. So an approve eligible is a pre-approval, which is a step above pre-qualification, which will give you some peace of mind.
Pre-qualification essentially is looking at documentation and saying, I think so. A pre-approval or the next level would be running the DU, and DU is run on every product except USDA. USDA is run through GUS, and they have their own automated underwriting system for that.
And the all-in-one. Which, if we're putting people in an all-in-one, we know that.
Yeah, they're pretty golden.
Above conventional.
It's pretty golden. They're walking on water. So, yeah, running DU is very, very, very important because on the surface, a file might look like it'll fly. Your debt to income ratios are good. Your LTV is really good. Everything is good. But for some reason, DU will come back and say, no. Now we got to figure out why. Is it lack of assets? Is it the amount of credit on the credit report? Like if they only have one or two trade lines, sometimes it'll pick that up. So it's very, very important to pick up exactly what the reason is behind it.
Yeah. All right, that's it. Thank you for having us and have a wonderful Tuesday.
Thank you, guys. I'm gonna stick around for a little bit. Yeah. Okay, and I think just our last slide here is we've had this in a couple of our newsletters, just kind of that time of year. If you'll take just a minute and give us a Google review. By building that Google review, when people look at Realty One Group at the PB office, they do see those reviews. And again, if agents are searching around, they will look at the Google reviews as well. So it just helps to have some of that information there. We'll put this back in the newsletter this Sunday. So you have the link to our Google review. We'd appreciate that. Just a reminder, you can always share something wonderful, be golden, be you. And I know we're afterwards because my whole technology did not work, but any of you that want to stay and deal with the buyers or sellers, I'm going to go ahead and stop recording here if I can figure out how to get back to that. But I will stay on here if people want that, and anybody online that wants to stay on, I'm just going to stop the recording so we don't continue with that. So